Before we get into the wildcard team, we're going to look at the FDR for the next few game weeks in UCL Fantasy. It'll give us a good idea of the better players to pick from. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. The support does not go unnoticed. We're going to look at game week 2, 3 and 4 for this FDR. This is all coming from Fantasy Football Pundit. I'll leave a link to their website in the description. They also have clean sheet odds and goal scoring odds on there as well. And my first thoughts is that Chelsea's next 3 games are looking very healthy. Benfica in game week 2 at home, Ajax at home in game week 3, then Karabag, one of the worst sides in the competition, in game week 4. It also looks very good for Inter Milan with Slavia Prague in game week 2 at home, Union SG away in game week 3, then Karat Almaty at home in game week 4. Another English side here who I also think has pretty decent fixtures in the upcoming game weeks in the UCL. That is Tottenham with Bodo Glimt in game week 2, Monaco in game week 3 and Copenhagen in game week 4. And other special mentions to Napoli and Newcastle. Napoli with Sporting Lisbon at home in game week 2, PSV away in game week 3 and Frankfurt at home in game week 4. I'm not sure if any of their players are good fantasy wise, but those fixtures are looking pretty good for the best side in Italy. And Newcastle with Uni SG away in game week 2, Benfica at home in game week 3 and Athletic Bilbao in game week 4. Newcastle are very good at home and I think it is a bit of a fortress for those UCL games. So maybe going for a Newcastle asset in your wildcard team is a very good way for a differential, and differentials are always good if you find the right ones. Those are the teams I wanted to highlight in this video, but of course there are other teams in there with pretty decent fixtures upcoming in the UCL. They are on the screen right now. But that is that segment of the video done, and we're going to move on to my latest wildcard draft for game week 2 in UCL Fantasy. Beginning with the goalkeeping rotation, we've got Vicario playing first on the 30th of September. Of course, we looked at Tottenham's next few games. They're looking very healthy, and Vicario, Tottenham's number 1, and I think they will have a decent probability of keeping those clean sheets in the next few games. It would be better if he was a 4.5 million goalkeeper. He is not, but the sub-keeper at the moment is Chevalier of Paris Saint-Germain. I think if there is a 4.5 million keeper at your disposal from one of the best teams in the world, you've got to go for that. Even though the upcoming games are looking pretty tough, I think that price tag justifies picking him. Obviously, you can make subs in this format of fantasy football game, so don't be concerned about your Mount and Gabriel on the subs. But moving on to the defence. Beginning with Denzel Dumfries, an amazing next 3 games for Inter Milan, and Dumfries is a very attacking defender. Whenever I see him play, he's always very close to a goal involvement, so hopefully he can keep up that form. He got a 7 point in game week 1, keeping a clean sheet against Ajax. And I think Inter Milan are very defensively sound, so I think we can expect a few more clean sheets in the near future. Upamecano is the first of 3 Bayern Munich assets in this team, away to Paphos in game week 2, the Cyprus side. And I think their clean sheet probability is very good for this game week 2 game. And like I've said with a few of the other players, the upcoming games for Bayern Munich are looking very good. And I think it would be wrong to go without a Bayern Munich defender in your wildcard team. I think there are other good options as well. Stanisic, a wing back, I believe he is. He is also a very good pick for this game week. Chalobah did get sent off in the Premier League in game week 6, but I think that suspension can only be served in domestic games, so you will be fine for the UCL for Chelsea. A 4.5 million defender who loves a ball recovery, and because he won't be getting any minutes in the Premier League for the next few games, to keep his fitness levels high, I expect him to start in the UCL. Dean Huijsen of Real Madrid is definitely like a 1 week punt, because his games past the Karat Almaty game in game week 2 are looking pretty tough, so he may well be transferred out for game week 3. I'm not very knowledgeable on Real Madrid's defence, but I'm pretty sure that Huijsen is a starter and he's one of the most nailed defenders in the Real Madrid defence for a very cheap price. And the final defender in this team is of course Gabriel of Arsenal. Arsenal's defensive record has been superb in the last few seasons with that pairing of Gabriel and Saliba. They have been the best defence in the Premier League for the past few seasons, and I'm pretty confident that will translate into UCL football. Arsenal hosts Olympiacos in game week 2, and that definitely gives Gabriel the opportunity to pick up a few points for our UCL teams. Moving on to the midfield, and I want to start off with looking at Tierney Rangers. He is definitely still on that main move out of this draft as we get closer to that deadline, but at the minute he's still in my team. He's got off to a good start to life for Man City, and without Haaland in this team, I am looking for a Man City asset, and that's coming through him. But of course, Pep Roulette is brutal, especially in the UCL, so he may get limited minutes, and that is why I'm maybe swaying away from him. But again, it is a player that I'm going to have to be very careful about. My first premium midfielder is Elise of Bayern Munich. I don't think you can go very far wrong with this pick. Of course, Paphos away in Game Week 2 as previously mentioned. You expect Bayern Munich to score a few goals in that game. And with Elise being one of the top assisters for Bayern Munich in the past few seasons, he has a great chance of getting a goal contribution in that game. I really wanted a Tottenham midfielder in this team. We looked at that FDR, Tottenham having some really good fixtures upcoming in the UCL. And I think at 5 million, Bergvall is a really good pick. 9 points in Game Week 1. He basically played the full 90 and he got that Player of the Match award for those 3 bonus points. He really is an enabler. Only 5 million for a Tottenham midfielder is superb value for money, and he definitely makes room to put money elsewhere. Moving on to the sub midfielders, and we'll begin with Lamine Yamal. He has got that yellow warning sign on him at the moment, but I'm sure he will be fine for this upcoming game weeks. I've seen him in quite a few wildcard drafts. And with Rafinha being out injured, I think he will have to be fast-tracked to the starting lineup in the Barcelona team. He has been outstanding for Barcelona in the past few seasons, and he was the second highest scoring Barcelona midfielder. I've also got Kenan Yildiz on these subs, 10 goal involvements in 10 games for Juventus this season. Really good numbers, and he's a very attacking midfielder. In Club World Cup Fantasy, he was listed as a forward, so I think that tells how much of an attacker he is. He has that goal threat. Moving on to my 3 forwards, I'm going to start off with Harry Kane, the most in-form man in world football right now. 22 goal involvements in 13 games this season. Those are really, really good numbers. Really rare to see numbers like that. And against a really weak side in Paphos in Game Week 2, he's a must-have really. If you don't have Harry Kane in your Game Week 2 side, you're going to fall behind. Unfortunately, he plays on the same day as Mbappe, so there is a captaincy dilemma there. But having Mbappe and Kane against 2 of the weak sides in the competition, it's a go-to really. Mbappe again, he got off to a good start in Game Week 1, and with a weaker side to play in Game Week 2 in Kara Almaty. Mbappe is on 70% ownership, really, really high numbers. You can't really avoid that. And the final player in this 15-man squad is Thuram of Inter Milan. Another player who's been on some really good form. 6 goal involvements in 8 games. He has been doing better than Lautaro Martinez despite being cheaper in UCL Fantasy. We talked about his FDR earlier. Slavia Prague, Kara Almaty and Union SG in his next 3 games. It doesn't really get easier than that. And I do expect some big hauls from Thuram in the upcoming weeks. But there we are. There is my latest wildcard draft. I will be wildcarding Game Week 2, but I will be tweaking this side as we get closer to that deadline. And if you want to keep up to date with my final team selection, it'll be on my Twitter, where I post other fantasy football content. The link to my Twitter will be in the description alongside my mini code for UCL Fantasy this season. And that does conclude today's video. If you have enjoyed, please be sure to like and subscribe. The support does not go unnoticed. Thank you for watching today's video and good luck in Game Week 2.